The evening sun had just dipped behind the hills, painting the sky in hues of rose and gold. Inside a small timbered house at the edge of a sleepy village, Hans and his young daughter, Elsie, sat around a sturdy oak table. The aroma of roasted meat, fresh bread, and simmering stew filled the room, mingling with the laughter of a hearty meal. Outside, the last birds were chirping goodnight, and the faint rustle of the wind whispered secrets through the open windows. It was a night for comfort, a night when the family decided the time demanded something stronger. Elsie, her mother said, "Fetch the beer from the cellar. The jug is waiting below." Elsie nodded, her tiny hands brushing crumbs from her dress as she rose. She made her way toward the stone stairs that led to the cellar, the familiar scent of aged wood and stored preserves welcoming her into the dim, cool darkness. As she filled the jug with umber beer, her eyes drifted upwards and froze. There, suspended from the ceiling above her head, was a pickaxe, its iron glinting in the faint candlelight. In an instant, memories she had long buried came rushing back like a violent storm. Her heart pounded, and tears streamed down her cheeks. She remembered the tragedy of long ago, when she was just a child, sent down into the cellar by her parents. A careless moment, a falling pickaxe, a life lost, the memories were too sharp, too unbearable. She could not stop crying, the jug slipping from her hands, spilling some of its precious contents. Back upstairs, patience was running thin. The parents, the household, even the maid waited anxiously. "Where is she?" someone finally asked. The maid descended the stairs, her lantern casting a trembling light on the cold stone walls. She found Elsie curled up, sobbing, the shadows swallowing her small frame. "What's the matter, Elsie?" the maid asked gently. The girl choked out her story, recounting the fear that had haunted her since childhood. The maid's eyes widened, and then, unexpectedly, she laughed through her tears. "Oh, clever Elsie! So clever indeed!" The parents followed soon after, each of them overcome by emotion, and for a moment, the cellar echoed with cries of fear, relief, and laughter. Hans, after seeing the situation, recognized something extraordinary in his daughter. Not just her tears, but her imagination, her depth of feeling, her unusual cleverness. And so, in the warmth of the candlelight, a plan began to form, one that would intertwine their fates forever. Time passed, and the bond between Hans and Elsie deepened. The villagers whispered of her cleverness, recounting the tale of the cellar and the pickaxe as if it were legend. And yet, Hans saw more than legend, he saw a spirited, thoughtful girl with a heart both sensitive and wild. Finally, the day came when Hans and Elsie were married. Friends, family, and villagers gathered to celebrate the union, and laughter filled the air like bells ringing in the morning. Everyone agreed that Elsie was remarkable, and Hans' admiration was clear in every glance he cast toward her. After the honeymoon ended, life settled into its daily rhythm. Hans, hardworking and diligent, planned his work in the fields, knowing that their survival depended on careful labor. He entrusted Elsie with tasks, confident in her cleverness. "Elsie," he said one bright morning, "the cornfield awaits. Go and reap the harvest, so we have food for the week." His voice was warm but commanding. "Do this diligently, and I will return before sunset." Elsie, her mind swirling with thoughts, nodded obediently. She prepared a pot of rich stew for herself, planning to eat before starting the hard labor. But as she tasted the first spoonful, she sighed in relief. Reaping could wait. And so she ate. The sun rose higher, spilling golden light across the ripening corn. Birds called to each other, insects buzzed lazily, and the air smelled sweet with earth and harvest. Elsie, with her pot of stew beside her, surveyed the field. It stretched endlessly, a sea of golden stalks swaying gently in the breeze. Her stomach full and her eyelids heavy, Elsie thought, "I will sleep first, reap later." She laid herself down among the stalks, her head cushioned by a bundle of straw. The warmth of the sun and the fragrance of the field lulled her into a deep, uninterrupted sleep. Meanwhile, Hans returned home and saw the empty fields. He thought how industrious Elsie must be. His heart swelled with pride, unaware of the reality. Trusting her cleverness, he decided to visit the cornfield to see her at work. Arriving at the field, he discovered the truth. Elsie lay sprawled among the corn stalks, utterly asleep, the harvest untouched. Hans tried to rouse her, even placing a fowler's net over her in an attempt to wake her gently. Still, she did not stir. He returned home, shaking his head, bewildered and amused at the same time. As evening fell, Elsie finally awoke. The sky was painted with shades of crimson and violet. Groggy, she found herself tangled in the net, unable to recognize herself at first. Was this truly Elsie, or some stranger wearing her face? The net's bells jingled with each tentative movement, creating a sound that rippled across the quiet village. Elsie panicked. She ran toward her house, hoping someone would reassure her. Knocking frantically at the door, she asked, "Is Clever Elsie inside?" Hans answered, a trace of amusement and concern in his voice, "Yes, Clever Elsie is here." The words shocked her. "Am I Clever Elsie?" she whispered, terrified by her own identity. She fled into the village, searching desperately for confirmation from anyone. But the jingling of the net betrayed her every step. Villagers peeked through windows, shaking their heads silently, unwilling to come to her aid. Her panic grew, her cleverness now useless in the face of chaos she had created herself. The night deepened, and Elsie ran without pause. She crossed empty fields, abandoned paths, and silent cottages. Every face she sought was hidden behind closed shutters. Each bell of the net sounded like a reminder of her isolation. Exhausted, confused, and frightened, she realized she could no longer return to the life she had once known. Her cleverness had become her folly. The village, once a place of comfort and recognition, now seemed like a labyrinth from which she could never escape. And so, Clever Elsie vanished, her story becoming legend. Children whispered her name as a lesson, mothers told tales of her wit and folly, and the village remembered both the brilliance and the foolishness she had embodied. Clever Elsie had taught everyone a profound lesson: never judge by appearances. Hans had believed her clever because of her previous deeds and stories, yet the truth revealed itself only when her actions spoke louder than perception. The moral was clear. Cleverness is not merely how one appears in fleeting moments, it is revealed in consistent judgment, awareness, and responsibility. Appearances can deceive, and even the cleverest mind can falter if pride, comfort, or distraction take hold. Elsie's story remained a cautionary tale for generations. Cleverness must be accompanied by wisdom, diligence, and self-awareness. Those who fail to practice these may find themselves lost, no matter how bright their initial promise. And though she disappeared, the village never forgot the girl who was at once clever and foolish, inspiring stories, laughter, and lessons for centuries to come. If you like the story, then do subscribe, share, and press the bell icon for more interesting stories.